Okay, picking up where we left off with the filtration rate, talking about salts. I'm actually going to kind of go off topic a little bit. This slide here again, kind of like the prior slide, I don't expect you to memorize everything on these two slides. What I would like you to note is what happens when you eat salt. So if you eat a lot of French fries at night or chips or something like that, do you ever notice that your fingers will like swell up or anything like that? Okay, so what happens when your body takes in salt, it wants to dilute that salt. Your body doesn't want high concentrations of salt. So the reasons that your fingers swell up is you are reabsorbing a lot more water. Your body is keeping water inside to dilute that salt. Diuretics, some pops can also cause you to retain water, or basically you're going to reabsorb more water. Anything that's concentrated, and that would, like your sugary pops, if you have sugary Kool-Aid, anything that has a lot of solutes in it is going to cause your body to retain water and keep it inside. Where when you drink just water, it's going to flush everything out, and that's one of the reasons that water is so beneficial to you. So we talked about renin. Renin's going to trigger a series of reactions. It's going to produce angiotensin II. Basically, that's going to make your efferent arteriole smaller, so that's going to increase pressure. Angiotensin II also increases secretion of aldosterone, and that's going to reabsorb sodium and keep sodium in your body. The heart also can increase filtration rate. So when your blood volume is high, that's going to affect your heart rate, and that will also affect the filtration rate of your kidneys. So here, kind of a group effort here. Your kidneys are the organ that actually produce renin. Your liver is what actually produces the angiotensinogen. Renin basically breaks this down. I end up with angiotensin I, angiotensin II. And basically, angiotensin II is going to regulate the rate of your filtration. You can see at the bottom increased thirst. So if your body is reabsorbing, you're going to be thirsty because your body's going to want more water to dilute and clean out, kind of like I said. When you have too many electrolytes in your body wants to flush them out. So tubular reabsorption changes in that fluid composition from the time the glomerular filtrate is formed until the urine actually arrives at the collecting duct. Basically depends on how much is reabsorbed. So most reabsorption occurs in the proximal convoluted tubule. I might want you to know that one. So reabsorption takes place proximal convoluted tubule. Basically cells possess little microvilli that are going to carry things. Carrier proteins have a limited transport capacity, so any excessive amounts of a substance will be excreted or gotten rid of into your urine. There is a threshold, there's basically amount, kind of an average. So when those amounts get above that threshold, that's when they're going to secrete even more into your urine. Glucose, sugar levels, and urinalysis, they're going to check for glucose, they're going to check for amino acids. Basically, they are reabsorbed by active transport because they're larger molecules. They can't just simply diffuse across the membrane. Large particles, glucose, amino acid, will require active transport to go through little carrier proteins in your blood vessels. Water is going to travel by osmosis, and proteins are so big, pinocytosis, your cell actually kind of wraps around some of those proteins. It's not going to go through the membrane. Other substances that can be reabsorbed, creatine, your body can only have so much in its body at a time. Lactic acid, sore muscles, this is why too much lactic acid contributes to sore muscles. Citric acid, a lot of your acids, and then some of your electrolytes that are listed at the bottom. Sodium ions are also reabsorbed by active transport. And then some of them, your chlorine and bicarbonate ions, are going to move through passive transport. So they do not need as much energy. So what happens if I am reabsorbing sodium, if my body is going to keep sodium, it is also going to need to keep water. So if sodium is reabsorbed, water is going to follow. Water is also going to be reabsorbed to help dilute that sodium. Picture here just kind of shows how these ions are moving. So reabsorption means once my blood's been filtered, I have these electrolytes or these particles, whatever they are, in the proximal convoluted tubule. And these extras or excess are going to be reabsorbed. They are put back into your bloodstream. So when I'm saying reabsorbed, that's where those particles go. They go back into your bloodstream. They leave the kidneys, they leave the filtering unit, and they go back into your bloodstream and are carried throughout your body again. Tubular secretion transports certain substances from the plasma into the renal tubule. Here again, active transport a lot of time is going to help to move these larger particles. Hydrogen, and that can be hydrogen gas, potassium ions, and then some larger organic compounds. And that's probably all I guess the only thing I want to point out here is where filtration occurs. Tubular reabsorption, so it's going back to your bloodstream. Tubular secretion's going to put it into your urinary tract. And then it's going to be carried along and eventually end up in your collecting duct, which leads down to your bladder. Pretty much the same thing. Regulation of urine concentration and volume. So, color of urine, very important for concentration. Volume of urine. How often do you go to the bathroom? When you go to the some people go to the bathroom very quickly because there's not a large amount of volume. So aldosterone from the adrenal glands stimulates your distal convoluted tubule to reabsorb sodium and then secrete potassium. Basically what happens, antidiuretic hormone increases the tube's permeability to water. Water is reabsorbed back into the bloodstream. So there where I was talking about some of those fluids that you drink that are not pure water are going to actually cause you to store more water or reabsorb more of it than you are going to get rid of it. When you look at urine concentration and volume, your urine is probably mostly concentrated in the morning because it's been there for quite a while. But things that ADH from your adrenal glands do, concentration of water in the blood decreases, which is going to change your pressure. Your hypothalamus in your brain, so your brain is also involved in formation of urine, is going to release this ADH to your kidneys, and that is going to cause reabsorption, and then urine becomes concentrated. Urine volume decreases. So if the concentration of water in my blood is not where it should be, then my urine is going to become concentrated, and the volume of urine that I pass is going to be small. Urea is a byproduct of amino acids, so metabolism, when your body is working and breaking things down, used for breathing, moving, things like that. Urea is a main byproduct of proteins or amino acids, and that's going to be one of the main things in your urine. Urea is slightly reabsorbed, but about 20% of urea is excreted. So urea can be reabsorbed, but most often a large amount of it is not. Uric acid is, most uric acid is reabsorbed by active transport, and a small amount of that is actually secreted. So urea, you have a lot of in your urine. Uric acid, not so much. Table you can read through. We've pretty much discussed all of that already. Urine composition. This I would like you to know, because this is what I'm giving you, that extra sheet. I'd like you to know this stuff. Urine composition is going to vary from time to time. It's going to reflect how much water you drink, if you've exercised a lot, if you haven't gone to the bathroom for a long time. So the amounts of water and the amounts of solutes that are inside. Urine is 95% water, so it's mostly water. Contains urea, uric acid, some amino acids, electrolytes. Basically, we talked about 180 liters being filtered. On average, you're going to get rid of a half a liter to 2.5 liters a day. Glucose, proteins, ketones, red blood cells, white blood cells are normally not found in urine, so their presence may indicate disease. And this is the assignment that I'm going to give you, because this is important. When we go into, if you're going into anything medical, you want to know what do those tests actually show. And that is where we'll stop for today.